Hi, everyone. This is Beth Bernstein, and we're back with a modern guide to antique jewelry, my new book that's coming out very soon. It's for pre-order on Amazon.com. And with me today is Pat Salling, who I have quoted in the book on numerous topics. She is a true expert. Her first years were spent at Fred Leighton. She spent 20 years at Fred Leighton managing the jewelry department. And then she went out on her own, opened her own company, and has had that for approximately 20 years. Pat is knowledgeable in many different time periods. And I thought it would be fun for us to go through red carpet worthy antique earrings. What do you think, Pat?
Well, I think so. I mean, the earrings are a girl's best friend. You know, you're not dressed unless you have a pair of earrings on, and they are the easiest thing for a woman to put on and leave the house. You don't have to worry about your neckline or your collar or whatever else is going on in your wardrobe, but you do have to have a pair of earrings on your on your ears when you're going out.
So do you want to start with the earliest and we'll work our way up?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go. We have we have these Georgian earrings, which are what the style girondelle, which are the pendant, the three pendant drops, and as you can see, they're gray in color, which is, of course, is the silver on gold uh, process that they had, because, of course, they didn't have platinum in those days. So the diamonds were set in silver. And they have a closed back, which is generally the call sign for Georgian jewelry. And you can also see these little fold down hooks that hold the pendants on. It's a little primitive, but it is also a sign that these are very early earrings. And I'm sure that they were done so that you could take the pendants off, perhaps put other pieces on, most likely pearls, but it could have been colored stones as well. And then, of course, the um, uh, nice part about this is that you could also just wear the tops alone if you wanted to as well.
Yes, those are great examples of the Durandal from that time period. So are those mine cut diamonds with rose cuts in between? What I
These are actually all rose cuts. They're quite early. They don't have any mine cuts in them, so that they would be really an early pair of Georgian earrings.
okay. Okay, those are fabulous.
Yeah,
And they're, like I said, the perfect example of what I think of when I think of Durandal earrings.
exactly.
So, what's next?
Okay,
What's next?
so just a little bit further along are these earrings, and these are absolutely full of old mine, the true old mine cuts. And actually, these are my personal earrings, so they have a great style. Again, if I don't know if you can really see, but the back also has that fold down hook, so that you can just have worn the top small circle, drop maybe a pearl or a colored stone from, or wear it this way, which is the way I always wear it. These are the true old mine cuts, not rounds or European cuts or anything. And of course, the backs have been changed to posts, because the backs of the early earrings were could be quite cumbersome, and throughout the years we've streamlined the backs so that they are more comfortable and easier to put on. Sometimes they could be quite a contraption to get through your ear. Sometimes they came from the back through the front, and most women find that a little ungainly to try and put on.
I find it completely impossible to put on. And I have some, but I find it completely impossible to put on. It takes me more time to put on my earrings than my whole outfit, usually,
Exactly.
front to
Exactly.
back. I mean, yeah, front, back to front. So anyway, those are absolutely stunning. So they're, when you say they're the true mine cuts, they're the cushion
Yeah.
shaped, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, there's actually a little pear shape, which looks even more, it's even more primitive in that it looks more like a triangle cut. You know, and there's no telling how old these stones are. They could have been cut, you know, 100 years prior to when these earrings were made, because you would, you know, reuse diamonds that they would take out of even older jewelry. So the cut is really evocative of that period.
Yes, those are gorgeous. I understand why those are yours.
Yeah, I just couldn't give them up. You know,
I
you
know.
know, you can't keep everything, but there are those things that just don't make it out of the safe. So after that, then are a little bit later. These are probably about 1880. These again are Victorian with again a bottom that comes off. Uh, Always very practical. They probably what could have been pendants on a necklace. They could have fit onto a tiara. The 19th century love to have jewelry that did 14 different things. I find that no woman actually does any of those things. If they buy a pair of earrings that can go do other things, they generally just keep them as earrings. The husband always likes the idea that they do other things. I find they're much more intrigued with the idea that something can become, you know, a ring, a pendant, a tiara, a brooch, a this or that, but it never seems to happen. It always just stays as they buy it.
I just never forget the tiara you had that was in a box with all the fittings underneath. Like
Oh,
I showed it in an article that I wrote.
right, right.
Maybe two articles that I wrote, and I was like so enthralled with all the fittings that, you know, and you showed
I
me all the different ways you could wear it. It was like, to me, that was like truly amazing that they thought of all these, you know, different ways
well,
and had all these different fittings, and that particular piece came all with all its fittings, like it was
yeah.
totally intact. That which was
Well, I think that was, you know, the part of the whole design of it and the selling point of it, which was they were, let's see, you could wear it as a necklace, you could wear it as a tiara, you could wear it as break the necklace apart to several brooches, you could wear it as they had those long pins, hair pins that you could put pieces on the tips of the hairpins. And was there a ring fitting? I don't even remember. There might have even been a ring mounting that you could have screwed one of the pieces on as a ring. So, I mean, it just gave you
just it
about
was,
a million options.
I was like completely in awe of that piece. So let's see the next styles. Are we going into Edwardian now? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think the Edwardian period, which is one of my favorite periods, it's a softer look. They were starting to use platinum then, so the platinum allowed the jeweler to be have finer points. The prongs could be much finer. This is a pair that I love. It has carved rock crystal on the bottom. I don't know if you can really see the carving, but it's just delicate and beautiful. And the way the rock crystal is carved, you know, it catches the light so that, you know, you get this lovely reflection back. And the uh, the the weight is much lighter as well. So this would be considered, you know, probably right around 1900.
Yeah, no, those are quite beautiful, and they have such nice movement for catching the light.
Yeah.
The rock crystal part, yeah. Um, And a lot of the Georgian earrings tended to be heavier. And as we went on, the earrings got lighter and lighter, obviously, because of the metal that they were using. And they could actually cut different stones to fit the pieces
Right.
differently.
And like I said, the platinum was stronger than silver, so they could use the prongs and the fittings could be finer, so that there was more metal cut away. So even though it was less metal holding the stones, it was a stronger fit than with silver, because silver is much more malleable. Um, these are beautiful. These are natural pearls. These are also Edwardian with this little pagoda style, and these are all set with rose diamonds, and again in platinum. So these were probably about 1915, 1912, definitely pre-World War One.
And those are in the book. We feature those in the book. So
Right. And beautiful. The Edwardian period was such a romantic period. It was so you know soft and wispy, and the clothing was so much lighter, and the fabrics were so much lighter than the Victorian fabrics. I mean, even the brooches, Victorian brooches had pins on them that had to get through all these heavy textiles, so that you could really do some damage with the pins. And then again, with the Edwardian era coming in, you had this much lighter feel to the jewelry. There's another pair here. This is a classically Edwardian with the pear shape and the garland motif with the leaves and the flowers coming down. That was something that Cartier did pre-World War One. There was that whole garland phase that they went through. But again, flowers, romance. The whole that whole feeling of romanticism.
yes, and a lot of it, besides the garland, was very lacy and light work and more open and just freer, like as you said, to go with the new clothes. They weren't so they were It was much freer in that time period. Like there were
Yes.
lighter fabrics and more wispy fabrics and just but these are earrings that we can wear today. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely. I mean, these are, these go, you put them on, you go out for dinner, and it's, and you're dressed. Um,
pretty much any of those earrings, you go out to dinner in your dress.
well, for sure, for sure. Well, that's why I love the silver on gold earrings, because even when they're the bigger scale earrings, even with bigger diamonds, what they don't look quite as flashy, for lack of a better word, but you can also wear those for dinner, or I like jewelry that doesn't live in a safety deposit box. So I like, if you have jewelry should be worn. So it's important to me to have jewelry that women can enjoy. Let's see. Oh, so then we're going to just go into the Deco period. And these are my favorite pair of Deco earrings.
Those are
They,
fabulous.
yeah, these are just amazing. They're made so beautifully. I wish you could really hold them in your hand, because the connections are so fine. It's really like a piece of silk in your hand. There's no stiffness. There's no resistance. Everything just moves just beautifully. And they're French. They have all the French marks and the assay marks and maker's marks. I'm sure a very good house made them. I just have not been able to track down the maker's mark yet, but I'm sure that they were somebody that was making very fine jewelry. To me, they look a little like Le Cloche, maybe early Van Cleef. Um, you know, somebody who really knew how to make great jewelry.
Yeah, and the fringe work at the bottom. I mean, just everything about them is just so perfect. It
Yeah,
just flows.
the
Yeah.
proportion is perfect. You know, I mean, the French made just fabulous jewelry. I always say that they jewelry making was in their DNA. But that's always, you know, that's one of those imperceptible things about jewelry. If the proportion is off, you don't really know, you don't know why it's not right, but it's generally because of that. There's something wrong with the scale, and these are absolutely perfect.
Yes, and the center diamond at the bottom stone, is that an old European cut?
Yeah, it's a European cut.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, great. Thank you. Those are beautiful.
yeah, I love those. And then we have this pair, which I love, very, very deco. It's by a firm that was out in the middle of the country. I think they were in Oklahoma uh, or Kansas. I don't remember. Called Lynn's, and these are, you know, just screaming deco, onyx and diamond, and they are. Again, just, you know, going from that romantic Edwardian style into this, you know, much more defined deco style, much more architectural. But you can see it was still transitional because they still had those little flowers and the little leaves. So this is very early deco. This, they still hadn't, you know, come into the absolute, you know, rectangular
The very
period of deco.
geometric, yeah. But these are, I'm in, like, I'm in love with these.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's just, they're just so, um, I don't even know the word for it, but they're just like, I,
They're present. Yeah.
that's so, that's what I'm trying to say. They have so much presence, and with, you know, with the onyx and the diamonds, it's just amazing.
Yeah, you know, and like, and again, the proportion is great. You know, they're not too long. They really have the you know, the perfect scale for this sort of earring. And you know, there's nothing better than black and white as far as I'm concerned. So, you know. And then of course, then we have. I guess we can finish with these. Then, you know, this is your great deco earrings from Cartier. These earrings have been copied from, I mean, every uh, I don't know, sale practically. I see a reproduction copy of these, but these actually are the early Cartier ones. And again, it's such a great design because, you know, normally you would expect the small point to be at the top and the larger end to be at the bottom. But what makes these earrings so interesting and I think so dynamic is the fact that the point, you know, the small part of the point comes to the bottom. It's unexpected.
Yes, those are quite amazing too. I mean, like, there's nothing that you have shown me that I'm not um, falling in love with, because all the time period, you know, as we go through the time periods, all the, you know, the weights, you know, kind of change. They come from heavier to lighter because of the use of platinum, but they all have such character and presence and personality compared to the earrings that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's beautiful earrings made today, but to me, this is what I would want to wear. And
Well,
also, they're not as, I've always felt that they're, even though they have beautiful diamonds, they're not as flashy and blingy. They have some, you know, they have that presence without being like in your face. Which,
well, you know, I think, you know, today I think there's an emphasis on how much, you know, bling can there be, how much sparkle can there be, and you lose the design factor. Um, Back in the day, they were much more considered with with the design, and the stones were then cut to fit the design. The design wasn't made to fit the stone.
Right.
And it's a much different aesthetic in that case. So I think that makes all the difference when you're not just going for a big sparkle, on your ear, but when you're actually looking for great design and great uh, ideas for not looking like everybody else that's coming and going.
Yeah, no, that's true. So I wanted to show you something
Mm,
I don't think you've seen yet, but the book. I have
I know,
one
it's so
copy
exciting.
of my one copy of the Modern Guide to Antique Jewelry, my preview copy. It's available for order on Amazon.com, pre-order on Amazon.com.
So
And I think,
exciting.
yeah, so it's really exciting. And I'm so glad that you were able to contribute to it. And I thank you so much for being here with us today. Um, I've always come to you for advice and to see your beautiful jewels when I come to the shows, which you do many of the shows, which is great to see you there. And then you also have a place in and around the jewelry district where people can have private
We're by appointment only, so just call us, and we'll always be happy to set up an appointment to show you our collection. And if there's anything that you're looking for specifically, I've been certainly in the business long enough to be able to look for know where to look for things that you might be interested in adding to your collection. But it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Beth, because I know you're a kindred spirit and you love all these things and
yeah.
and breathe them in, and so it's always fun talking to you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in person one day soon.
That would be nice.
That would be nice, right? But thank you for coming on, and thank you so much.
Sure, Beth, anytime. Anytime.
Okay.
Congratulations on your book. It's
Oh,
really a wonderful, wonderful achievement.
oh, thank you so much. Bye, Pat. Thank you.
Bye bye.